And as Ganga constantly flows, giving, 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 always serving, in similar ways, we have these currents through our own experience, through our own life. And one of the most prominent of these currents is the breath. When we can let the breath flow unobstructed in a clear path, the body becomes more easeful. And when the body and the breath are more at ease, the state of mind, the clarity of thought, is also more accessible. This leads to a sense of more calm, peace, and clear seeing, so you can see with discernment and really learn to skillfully navigate whatever turbulence comes your way. So this idea of rivers can help us a lot as we move through life, moving through the river of time along our own path. And if you've ever been in a river, in a boat, or on a raft, you know that it's much easier going when you're in the main current. But if you get stuck off the side into the little eddies, then you can be trapped, working so hard as you try to row your way out. But then if you find your way back into the current, it becomes almost effortless. This easeful flowing along, smoothly, enjoying the ride. So let us learn from Ganga, let us learn from the river, and feel these own rivers flowing within us with every breath, every movement, every moment that passes as time flows. For our practice today, start by finding a comfortable seat. Sitting bones dropping down and back, lifting up through the crown of the head. Close your eyes, and now take a deep inhalation. Feel the body expand. And a long, smooth exhalation. As the edges of the body soften, lift through the crown of the head. And now simply start to notice the breath. Notice the way it feels as it moves in and out. Notice if the breath feels smooth, or if it feels like it gets stuck or is rough at any point. And if you do find the breath is stuck or rough, see if you can smooth it out, even a little bit. And if you can't, no problem. Just notice where it's stuck. Let the belly be soft, so the breath drops way down into the body on the inhalation. And on every exhalation, a steady upward rising current as the breath moves back up and out. Follow these movements, these currents of the breath. The inhalation flowing down, filling. And the exhalation rising upward. Every breath delivering life force, prana, oxygen, circulating vitality through all the organs. The wonderfully intricate system that is your body, all of it flowing together. bring the hands together in front of the heart. And we'll chant 3 times the sound Om together. Om is the sound of the universe, sound of pure consciousness, really the primordial tone. Allow for a deep inhalation. Release the hands, open the eyes. Welcome to your practice. Now sitting tall, we'll work with the breath here a bit, trying to create a more full breath, a more spacious, easeful breath, to really deliver the full current of flow through the body. So first, let the belly be soft, and as you inhale, feel the belly expand. And as you exhale, the belly draws in towards the spine. So when you let the belly be soft like this, it's called diaphragmatic breathing. So on every inhalation, the diaphragm presses down, compressing the lower organs, making space through the chest. And on the exhalation, the diaphragm draws back up. So a few more breaths here, feeling the belly move in and out. Very calming, grounding breath. Now, for this next breath, keep the belly drawn in, and you'll fill through the back of the chest, so you feel the breath expand kind of around the kidneys and the back of the belly. This one's a bit harder, but keep the belly in. And now as you inhale, let the back expand. And as you exhale, again, it softens. So still dropping the breath way down into the body, but trying to expand across the lower back. Take a few breaths here. Sense of inflating the kidneys, spreading the back. Now for this next breath, keep the belly drawn slightly in, just the lowest band of the belly, all around, right around the line of your pants. And this time, we'll keep that very lowest band drawn in, but feel the ribs expand in every direction, so moving forward and back and to the sides and up all at once. So it's like this huge inflation. And the exhale, everything draws in. So sitting tall, just the very lowest part of the belly scooped in. So you inhale, everything grows. Upward rising, outward rising. And exhale, softening. A few breaths here. See if you can feel the spreading through the sides and the back, as well as the front. So that breath can take a while to cultivate, especially if you're not used to breathing in that way. But if you practice a little bit every day, first finding the breath through the belly, and then finding the breath through the back, and then keeping those in and finding this full inflation, so just the lowest belly drawn in, then it allows you to create this breath and giving more space through the body for full potential of the breath, full expansion, really letting the currents move through. So remember that and keep trying to find that sort of full breath as we move into movement with our asana practice. Now extend both arms out to either side. Inhale, spread wide. Exhale, round the back. Palms meet in the front. As you inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Again, inhale, expand. Exhale, round. Inhale, rising. Exhale, back to center. 3 more times like that, following the current, the flow of the breath. A smooth river guiding the movement. And now release the hands. Shift forward over your feet. Make your way into hands and knees, all fours. Setting up with shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Just start some big circles, moving the hips around the knees. Loosening up the spine, bringing fluidity into all the joints. Opening up those stagnant places through the hips, through the low back. Allowing for a more free flow. And now reverse directions, same movement. Come to a still in the center. Spread the fingers wide on the mat. Press down into the palms, into the knuckles. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, broad across the chest. Tuck your toes, and on an exhalation, send the hips up and back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then walk the feet all the way up to the hands. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Knees bent, feet about hip distance apart. Drape the upper body over. You can sway side to side. Turn the head side to side, maybe even grab opposite elbows. Letting the spine lengthen. Low belly drawing in. Steady, smooth breath. Now release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold forward, soften. Again, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. And keeping the knees bent, inhale, roll up through the spine, all the way to stand. Now step the feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And we'll practice Uddiyana Bandha Kriya. So staying with this idea of flow through the body, we can think of the breath as this life force moving through. And to help concentrate this life force, it can be helpful to put in some blockages at different points. So if you think of the main life force flowing through the central axis with the breath along the spine, the nervous system, Then we have what are called bandhas, or sometimes internal locks, which act almost as valves in a pipe. So it's like it stops the flow so that sensation and experience becomes very concentrated in a certain part of the body. And then when we release the lock, it floods the system. So this Uddiyana Bandha is the upward flying lock, or the upward flying valve through the body. And we practice it at the end of an exhalation, holding empty of breath. And the basic action is to suck the belly in and up, so it creates this hollowing out suction through the stomach, like pulling everything up into the chest. So here we go. Nice and grounded through the feet, lifting through the crown of the head. Just take a smooth inhalation here. And as you exhale, bend the knees, round the back slightly, follow the breath all the way out, hold empty of breath, pull the belly in and up, hold. Now release the belly, and then inhale, stand up. Regular exhalation here. Again, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Follow the breath all the way out. Hold in the empty, pull the belly in and up, chin tightly or slightly tucked. Release the belly, still empty of breath. And then inhale, stand up. Regular exhalation. Go through 2 more rounds at your own pace. And only hold as long as feels comfortable, nothing extreme. When you finish your last round, just stand still, close the eyes, bring the awareness inwards. Notice the breath. Notice any effects, maybe some heat, whatever's there. And open the eyes. So doing Uddiyana Bandha practice every morning, first thing, on an empty stomach, can be very helpful, and it really develops over time, growing into this very strong action, creating a lot of strength and power that then radiates out through the body, through everything you do. Now step to the top of the mat, big toes to touch, heels an inch or 2 apart. Feel the feet pressing down, then lift up through the crown of the head. Long line through the center, a clear channel for the breath to flow. Everything balanced, samastitihi, equal standing. Hands together in front of the heart. We'll prepare for sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. Waking up the body, letting the river of breath flow through us. Inhale, arms rise, root into the feet. Exhale, dive forward, reaching with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, and then inhale, step back to a high plank position. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And a few breaths here. Rooting into the hands, rooting into the feet. sitting bones rising upward. Shoulders rolled away from the ears, head and neck soft. Bend the knees, look forward, bottom of the exhalation, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach tall. Exhale, samastitihi. Again, inhale, rise. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for the halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for cobra, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Drop into the flow of the breath again here. Every inhalation moving from the feet up into the pelvis. And as you exhale, that line flowing through the chest, down and out through the crown of the head, through the fingers. Bend the knees, look forward, bottom of the exhalation. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, back to center, growing tall. Once more like that. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. And inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Into the breath. Steady, full, rhythmic breaths. Flowing freely. Bend the knees, look forward. Bottom of the exhalation, step to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way up. And exhale, back to center. Take a nice free breath here. Notice any effects. And now here we go, flowing again. Bend the knees, reach down, skim the earth. Inhale, lift the upper body, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Either lower the knees and lower down, or lower for chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog, lifting the chest. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Spin the right or left heel down, step the right foot forward for warrior one. Inhale, rise up, touch tall. Then exhale, come all the way back down, hands down, step back, lower. Inhale, uncoil into the back bend. Exhale, hips high, pull back. Right heel down, step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, all the way back down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. You can always drop the knees and the hips to the heels for child's pose if it's too intense. Bend the knees, look forward, bottom of the exhalation, step or jump top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Bend the knees, sit low. Inhale, Utkatasana, reaching up. Exhale, stand back up, Samastitihi. 3 breath here. And again, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, reach down. Here we go. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, straighten the legs, dive forward. Inhale for the halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back, lower. Inhale for cobra or upward dog. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Left heel down, right foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, pulls back. Left foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, warrior one. Exhale, lower. Inhale, uncoil, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Full breath, full of life. Bend the knees, bottom of the exhalation, step or jump top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Bend the knees, sink the hips low. Inhale, Utkatasana, reaching up. Exhale, stand all the way up. Free breath here. Now I'll go through that just one more time on your own, letting the breath flow freely through. If you forget the movement, no problem. Just join back in at any point. Here we go. whenever you finish, close the eyes. Take a few breaths here. Feel the heartbeat, feel the breath. Now open the eyes. Hop the feet about hip distance apart, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift through the chest. And as you exhale, fold forward halfway down. Reach down and grab the big toes. Holding onto the toes, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold all the way down. You can bend your knees as much as needed to reach the toes here. Steady, full breath, expanding the chest, expanding the back. Lowest band of the belly, drawing in so you fold over that space. Crown of the head dripping towards the floor. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine. And now exhale, switch to insert the hands under the feet, Padahastasana. Again, bend the knees as much as needed. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Back into the breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hands to the hips. With strong legs, inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, hop the feet back together. Samastitihi, equal standing. And now step the right foot out in a big step. Face the side of the mat. Turn the right toes towards the back of your mat, left toes slightly in. Arms to a T. Inhale, expand here. And let the exhalation take you out over the right leg. Right hand comes down to the shin or the floor. Left arm goes straight up. Turn to gaze up at the left thumb. Then let the breath move through the entire body. Every inhalation to lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, draw the belly in, right hip pulling underneath you. Chest rolling open. Turn to look down, and then inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, second side, left toes out, right toes in. Inhale, first expand. And now the exhalation flows into the pose. Left hip pulls back, left hand down, right arm up. Gazing to the right thumb. Steady flowing breath. Turn to look down for balance. And now inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, release the hands. Then both feet parallel. Turn the toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, fold forward halfway down. Release the hands to the floor if possible. You can bend the knees if needed. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head forward. And now exhale, fold all the way down. Strong through the legs. Sitting bones rising upward. The low belly pulling in, the sense of that Uddiyana Bandha action. Hollowing out the lowest band of the belly. Inhale, halfway lift. exhale, hands to the hips. And with strong legs and a flat back, inhale, stand all the way up. Tailbone drops. Exhale here. Inhale, spread the arms, broad chest. Exhale, hands behind the low back, interlace the fingers. Now as you inhale, hands down, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward again. Hands come up off the back, overhead towards the floor. Steady, full breath here. Strong legs. Inhale, stand all the way back up. And exhale, release the hands. Step back to the top of the mat. Samastitihi, gathering back to the center line. Now step the right foot out again. This time turn to face the back of your mat, setting up for Parshvottanasana, the pyramid pose. Hands behind the back. If possible, you can round the back so that you can flip the palms, bringing the palms together in a reverse Anjali Mudra behind the back. Then walk the hands up between the shoulder blades. And if that's too intense for the wrists or the shoulders, instead you can grab the opposite wrists. So either option is good. Hands behind the back. Now inhale, lift through the chest. And as you exhale, fold forward out over the right leg, right hip floating up and back as you dive long. And now let the breath move through the shape. Every inhalation back away a little bit. And exhale, softening. Left ribs gently twisting across towards the right knee. Every breath flowing through the length of the spine. Inhales to make space. Exhales, softening deeper. Inhale, rise all the way up, strong through the legs. And as you exhale, just turn the feet to the left. Keep the hands as they are. Inhale, lift the chest, belly drawing in. Exhale, dive forward, forward, forward. Left hip pulling back and up. And then let yourself soften. Now again, let the breath flow through the body, along the line of the spine. Life force flowing into all the hidden corners, all the furthest extremities, opening up blockages. Inhale, root into the feet, stand all the way up, lift the chest. And as you exhale, release the hands, unwind to the sides, and then step back to the top of your mat, back to where we started, Samastitihi, equal standing. Again, pause for a few breaths here. Lifting tall. Notice any effects. And now shift the weight into the left foot. So even as we move into balancing on one leg, you want the same idea of a steady flow through the center of the body, but just standing on one foot. So left foot rooting down, but lifting up through the center. And now pick up the right knee, and interlace the hands in front of the shin, stand tall. Establish a steady gazing point, the drishti. Steady breath, steady focus. And left hand to the hip. Now keep holding the right shin. Just draw the leg out to the side. And Turn to gaze over the left shoulder if possible. Steady gaze, steady breath. Draw the leg back through center. And now left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Reach the right arm back behind you and turn to gaze towards that right thumb in a twist. Steady gaze, steady breath. And bring the chest back through center. Hands to the hips. Straighten the leg out in front. Point the toe, gaze to the right big toe, lift it as high as you can. Lift a little higher. And lower down. Now shift the weight into the right foot. Second side, always the easy side. Pick up the left foot. Start by holding the front of the shin, lifting through the crown of the head. Steady gaze, steady breath. And right hand to the hip. Draw the left knee out to the side. And turn to look over the right shoulder. Breath flowing freely. Gaze steady. Now leg back through center. Take the right hand across. Left arm back behind you. Turn to gaze to the left, twisting. Now come back through center, both hands to the hips. Straighten the left leg out in front. Lift as high as you can. Gaze to the left big toe. Breathe. Lift a little higher. And then lower it down. 2 feet on the floor. Samastitihi. Everything balanced. Now step back to the top of the mat if you're not already. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Now drop the knees to the mat. Hips to the heels, forehead rests down. Balasana, child's pose. Let the body soften into the earth. Feel the flow of the breath expanding across the back of the chest, down towards the hips. The back broad. Now walk the hands in towards the knees. Roll up to a kneeling position. Then shift both feet out in front to sit in Dandasana, the staff pose. So strong through the legs, sitting bones rooting down, heels pressing down. Then reach forward through the mound of the big toes. Hands alongside the hips. Lift through the crown of the head. Then pull the chin back slightly and tuck it down until you feel a little constriction through the throat. This This is Jalandhara Bandha, another one of those inner locks. Keeping the chin there. As you inhale, let the chest rise, heart floating up. On the exhalation, keep the chest lifted, so there's a lift from the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, and Uddiyana Bandha as the belly sucks in. A few deep breaths here. Inhale, lift the head, arms overhead. And as you exhale, dive forward out over the legs. Grab wherever you can on the feet or the legs. And inhale, back away, length. Exhale, fold in. And again, let the wave of the breath flow through you. Inhales to back away, get some space. Exhale, soften in. Letting the breath carve the path of the shape. Finding the most effective route as water flows. Opening up new pathways. Without forcing. Breath by breath. Inhale, back away, look up. And then exhale, release, sit tall. Bend the knees, feet to the floor. Reach the arms forward. And now slowly, slowly, roll down onto your back. Walk the heels in until you can just brush the heels of the fingertips. Feet are hip distance apart. On an inhalation, lift the hips, rolling up through the spine into Setu Bandha Sharvangasana, the bridge shoulder stand. Interlace the hands under the back. Walk the shoulders in towards each other. Knees flowing forward. Press into the feet so the hips float upward. Full flow of the breath, filling the belly and the chest. Steady rhythmic breath. On your next exhalation, release the shoulders and hands. And roll down through the spine. Pause for a breath here. And now go through 2 more rounds of bridge pose on your own. Stay for 5 breaths at the top. And pause for a breath or 2 in between rounds. When you finish your last round, let the knees drop together. Bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Feel the low back spread and soften. Front of the hips and the pelvis, the low belly soft. Feel the gentle rise and fall of the belly with every breath. A gentle wave bobbing on the surface of a vast ocean. And now draw the knees wide outside the ribs, hands to the front of the shins as you pull the knees towards the shoulders. Kick the feet forward, grounding the tailbone and sacrum. Stretch and traction the low back. The knees in to touch. Rock side to side. Or make small circles, massaging out the low back. All around the edges of the sacrum. And come to a still in the center, arms along the sides. Just extend the feet straight up into Viparita Karani. This lovely gentle inversion. Reversing the flow through the legs. Reversing the effect of gravity. A waterfall cascading from the feet, down into the hips, into the pelvis, in a deep watery plunge pool, grounding the sacrum, anchoring you. Now bend the knees again, wrap the arms around the shins, lift the head and chest, squeeze everything into a tiny little ball. And then release. And extend the arms and legs long for Shavasana, the corpse posture. And set yourself up to rest here. Legs long, arms long. Palms turn face up. As you settle in, feel the ground underneath you. And notice the air on your skin, the space around you. Even a sense of the expansive sky outside. Now take a deep inhalation. Feel the breath flowing in like a steady, strong river, gathering in the center of the body. And as you exhale, let the breath wash down and out, through the soles of the feet, through the palms of the hand, up through the crown of the head, purifying, removing any lingering tension. Again like that. Inhale to gather in to the center of the body. And exhale, let the breath wash down and out. And now let yourself simply rest. Fully aware, fully at ease, bathed in the gentle flow of the breath. Begin to deepen the breath again. And start little movements in fingertips and tips of the toes. Now as you inhale, reach both arms overhead, legs together. Stretch long through the center of the body. And then bend the knees. Notice which nostril feels more open as you breathe. And roll to the more open side, into the flow, into the swirl. And now press your way back up to find a comfortable seat. Same as we started, sitting bones dropping down and back. Lift up through the crown of the head. Close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths here. Into whatever space you've made for yourself. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. And we'll close the practice by chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Allow for the inhalation. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So just as the river Ganga flows, let us be drawn into the current of our own lives, moving through time, along the river, wherever it leads, without trying to fight the current, but rather using it to help us. And it all begins with the breath, finding the current of breath, letting that flow freely internally. And then everything else falls into place. You'll fall into the current. Thank you so much for practicing.